Well, good evening everybody and welcome back to the Bird Room. I'm Shane from Direct Bird Products. Today's episode is going to be quite packed with different things, what's happening in the shed, the shows we've been to, a new section I'm going to do as we're running through this time of year called Show Scene, just to keep you informed of what we've been doing, the shows we're going to be doing, things like that. Obviously the colder weather's here now, so what we should be doing obviously to combat the colder nights for the birds, but believe me it won't harm them, and just a general look round of the shed and if any improvements we're going to make throughout the winter, but that'll all come as the episode unfolds. Firstly, I would like to start with a question from Frank James. And for the regular viewers will know that we tried SM6 way back in the breeding season. Said that before, that a lot of people sweared by it, and so I thought I'd give it a go. And it seemed to do okay. I can't say that it eradicated mite because I'd be lying. Odd speck of mite here and there, but ironically it never came in the breeding season. It actually came at the end of the breeding season. Just a touch of red mite here and there. I did hear about moxidectin, same type of stuff, and like I said, I did say I was going to start using it. And the question from Frank was, how did the moxidectin go on the trial that I did? Well, to be 100% honest, it was okay. Pure the fact that I'd used S76, I can't really say which one was best or which one wasn't, but on an aspect of cost wise, the moxidectin was well worth the money compared to the S76. The S76 is quite expensive, and I said that the moxidectin was basically the same type of stuff, did the same job, but for literally a quarter of the cost. So I think that speaks for itself. Maybe if I would have used SM6 constantly throughout the year, it might have had a better effect, but at the end of the day, it's a preventative to mite, not a cure. I just think it's totally rubbish to eradicate any mite on the feather of the birds. If anything, my thoughts would be towards clean and clear, check mite. I think that is the one that I've just started using. It seems to be a lot better. You can actually spray it around the cages and use it as a preventative rather than a cure, because believe me, the person that comes up with a cure for mite is going to be a millionaire overnight, because as we stand at the moment, there's no cure for mite, and it will get in there somehow, no matter how hard you try, without bringing birds in and not collecting fresh chickweed and stuff like that. I think it gets in somehow, put it that way. So James, I hope that answers that. I mean, like I said, I can't really give you a definite answer, but what I can say is it worked on par, the same as the S76, and well worth the value for money. We had a comment from Joseph Formosa. Thanks for watching, Joseph. I know you're a regular viewer to our channel, and it was mainly about greenfinches. See if I could do a episode on greenfinches more in depth, on colour, showing and things like that. So yes, I will definitely do that at some point over the next coming weeks, and obviously put my thoughts into it, and obviously the input from some of the top breeders. I am going to speak to a few of the lads that are right up there with the greenfinches, and I'll speak to Mark and get his opinion, because there is some things that Mark did differently to what I did, and his birds, the colour of the birds was slightly better, so that'll be coming in a future episode. When it comes, I don't know, because obviously we've got a lot going on now with the show season started. The wife will be having the baby in a few days, so it's going to be a busy time. So as I mentioned a few days ago, was the first hard frost in the morning. Woke up, the grass was white over. Now, so far as the birds, I mean, my shed, I've said before, with the cladding I've got throughout, actually keeps the temperature up a couple of degrees than what it would be outside anyway. But in the scenario of coldness of the birds, I don't offer any heat whatsoever. If the birds are fit enough as they are, and most birds are, you will get the odd bird that looks a bit soft from time to time because, let's face it, no one likes cold, and let alone birds. So, I mean, I don't put any heating on. Whereas we get damp air, damp is worse than anything in a bird shed. Whether it be, I mean, if you've got outside flights, it's not going to be an issue in there because you're getting constant airflow through. Whereas I've got windows in my shed, and I've got certain electrical, I mean, like the dehumidifier or my air purifier, which transfers air and does air better. But first thing I do in the morning is come down and open the windows, let some air transfer from, obviously, from outside in and vice versa, and that will obviously freshen up the air inside the shed. Because if you like me, before I go to bed, I lock everything up, close the windows and everything. Just safety precautions for a load of things, not just for burglaries and stuff like that, for predators from outside. Your cats, I mean, we've got a cat, but he would never come in. But there is, you know, foxes in the area. There's certain things, if you've got your windows open, last thing you want to do is have them in your shed. All they're trying to do is get warm, especially through winter, and a shed's going to be warmer inside than it is outside. So take that into consideration. So like I said, damp air. For those who haven't got a dehumidifier, there's things on the market that would, I mean, personally, I would get a dehumidifier. I mean, in my shed, it does get damp. You can see it as much as we try to stop it. If you're coming in your shed in the morning, you've got windows and there's obviously condensation on your windows, you've got damp in your shed, and that's the worst thing for birds. So go out and buy a dehumidifier. Alternatively, you can actually get these. I went and bought some of these, and you can dot them around the shed. They're really cheap. You can get them from Pound Shop or anywhere like that. Something like that. They come in these little bags, and you just open them up, and the balls inside there catch the moisture and obviously turn it into liquid. At least that way, you can dot them 2 or 3 wherever you need them, if you need them. And I think they're brilliant value for money. Like I said, I went out and bought them, and I think they were £1 each, or 69p each, that's what they were. And it takes the moisture out of the air. But bear this in mind, if you're looking to breed earlier on, January, February, and not a lot of the new colour lads I know do, don't have them in at that point. Turn your dehumidifier off. It takes too much moisture out of the air. It can result in birds dead in shell, because that is obviously what they need. They need moisture in the air when it's breeding season. But winter, totally different kettle of fish, and we need to get the moisture out of the air. And obviously we're at the start of, well, autumn time now, but when it comes to winter and we've got snow and stuff, just obviously precautions such as that will stop dampness in your shed. It's nothing worse. On the other hand, there's things that a lot of people might not realise is birds need baths still through winter. It will insulate the feathers. I mean, like I said many times, I give birds a bath at least once a week before cleaning out, preferably, because it's the same thing again. The birds are going to be damp, the bedding on the bottom of the cage is going to be damp, and you don't want to leave that dampness in your cage at that point. So bird baths, still give them weekly, and it'll do them a world of good. So far as obviously diets, fattier foods, I've said this before, I give my birds treats throughout the week. Like I said, you've got your blue moors and your fonio paddies and goal of pleasure, all this type of stuff it's better giving them than just giving them one basic diet throughout the year or throughout the winter time. Mine now, I've said this in the last video, they're on the same diet as what they've been for the last month or so. Hard seed for the canaries with helpings of such as sunflower hearts, blue moor in your finger drawers. The blue moor is fattier, sunflower hearts fattier. Hemp seed. Now hemp seed is, a lot of people think hemp seed is, well, it's definitely a fattier food, but it doesn't have to do wonders for the birds. The properties inside this hemp seed is far better than what you would imagine them to be. Birds need a little bit of fat this time of year, albeit not over fattened. It's I keep saying it's a fine line between overweight and fit birds that are carrying a bit of weight to see them through winter. And when you've got bird sections off, such as I have here with the greenfinches, it's easier to monitor them and maintain what you want to do. Give them a bit of extra food where they need it, a bit of extra hearts, or take that away. Obviously, if you've got finger drawers in like I have up here, it's easy enough at that point to say, right, you can come off that for a few weeks and have a bit of canary seed, whereas in the flights they're flying that off constantly. So it's one thing, like I said, bear all the winter aspects now in mind when you're looking forward. So let's talk the dreaded 5th of November. As a bird keeper, a bird breeder, obviously I've got a cat and I've got a dog. So it's just not all about birds, bonfire night. It's about everything, all the animals, horses in the fields. It's a dreaded time for us livestock keepers, and one thing I can say is, luckily where I am is far enough away from anybody that I shouldn't really get any problems. Although some of the greenfinches up here already have got flies, and it's one of them things. I mean, you can tell it in greenfinches more than a canary, due to the wing bars on the greenfinch. It's more predominant and noticeable, and this is why I've got two different show tunes, which I'll come on to later. But what I do with mine is basically just have a little lamp in here. I keep everything, the light set on the timer, the dimmer set on the timer exactly as I would be. But by putting a little table lamp or anything like that in here, it does give them a bit of light in your shed to, it won't eradicate it, but to give the birds a bit of light in the shed, so if they did get a fright, they're not going to be completely in darkness and bashing themselves in the cages. Radio, yeah, 100%. If you've got neighbours or you're in an area where they're going to have a firework display, put a radio on. I don't need to, with the noise of the mechanical goods, if you like, the dehumidifier and the air purifier. It's a constant sound, and it'll mix well with the sound, but like I said, due to the fact of where I am, I don't need to take as much precautions as what I would have been in the past with the neighbours and stuff around me. I'm saying that last year, year before, it wasn't too bad, so I'm hoping it stays like that. But like I said, I'll leave a little lamp on here all night through. It's not going to put the birds into any sort of molt or breeding condition where you may think, oh, extra light hours is going to affect them by this and that. To be honest with you, a couple of days of extra light is not going to affect the birds whatsoever. So just have a think about them precautions, and you won't go far wrong. And if you do, what's the worst? I mean, these greenfinches will grow their flights back in 4 weeks or so, and it's not the be all and end all. If your birds are in the flights like mine are in the flights in here, it won't affect them whatsoever. Most of the time, you'll look at your birds before you lock up, and they'll be perched on their highest perch that they can find, head tucked into the shoulder and going to sleep for the night. So get to know your birds, and if you if your birds do look like they are a bit flightier than usual, take your precautions like I've said. So I just want to touch on a quick thing, obviously why YouTube and why have I put certain videos out there that I have, because it's obviously helping people. The amount of phone calls and WhatsApp messages and even emails I get, comments, how much it's helped them. And I speak on obviously my behalf, but I'm sure that Matt, Oliver, and I'll mention someone else in a second, but we are helping the hobby more than not doing it. Although the videos might not be for everybody, I'm sure that there's something in one of our videos. I'm talking on a broader spectrum, not just me, everyone else, that there is something to take away from it. And as much as I've had birds over 30 years, there's still things I learn every day. Now this puts me onto a point of the Five Canary Council. I've joined the Five Canary Council. Paul Larkin, who's part of the Five Canary Council, has got a YouTube channel on YouTube obviously. Search up Paul Larkin, and there's some Zoom room calls on there with various people. On Matt L's on there from the Canary Room, but other breeders, and not just Five Canary breeders, a general absolutely fantastic content on there from certain people talking about medication, how they breed birds and how they put one cock across two hens and vice versa, or how they breed their lines. And it is really interesting to see. Like I said, I've had birds so long, and when I've watched them all over, there is definitely something to take away from it. I've taken so much away from a couple of the episodes that's on there, that I'm sure that people that's coming into the hobby can definitely take something away from it. So head over to Paul Larkin's channel on YouTube, and definitely keep up to date with his videos. Like I said, the Zoom room calls are fantastic, and Paul's doing a brilliant job at the Five Canary Council. Another YouTuber, Johnny Martin, just joined us on board with the YouTube content, and I think he's doing fantastic. I know he's only put one video on so far, but we need more of this. We need more content for people, and I have had people say to me, I found your channel and I wish there was more of it. Well, there's opportunity for other breeders to bring their experience on board, whether it be budgerigars, foreign finches. Definitely, I'm not interested in a budgie one, but you know, people are. Foreign finches, fantastic array of different foreign finches. I'm sure that there's someone out there that could do one on that. Obviously, people that are interested in that type of stuff. Anyone that wants to do it, believe me, it's not as hard as it looks. It takes quite a bit of time to do, but the benefits you get from it, from the feedback, makes it worthwhile, and you feel like you're doing something for the hobby, because at the end of the day, from what it used to be 20 years ago, and there's less than 50% people in the hobby, and a lot less shows than there used to be. So yeah, I mean, if there is anybody out there that wants to start doing this, I'm sure that myself, Matt, Oliver can give you some pointers. Now, the part of the episode, the new addition to the episodes now, show scene. As you all know, that originally I said I wasn't going to show, but what wonders it does when you've had 18 months out of seeing like for like bird keepers and breeders, and showing your birds. I mean, when it comes towards shows now, running up to the shows, it's quite exciting. What I've done with the fives is bring my daughter on board. She's, like I said in the last video, she's done wonders while I was in hospital, doing everything for me, and I think it was only fair to make a partnership with the fives. Obviously the British is still mine, but hopefully it can encourage her and help her along, and it is relaxing. For anyone that knows anything about birds, it's relaxing. You feel a sense of achievement at the end of the breeding season. You go to a show, you win a rosette, anyone who has kids and they see a rosette on the cage, it's fantastic. So my daughter is 11 years old and brought her straight into the top level, and she's come on board with me. So the show that we did was West Grinstead, and I've done this show for, well, ever since I moved to London. Started off there as a novice with the British, and did really well actually. In fact, every single year before me and Mark became partners, I took best novice every single year there, and obviously moving up to champion, I've also done well as well. I mean, the show there, I took best British, and we also took best five in show. And after talking to the judge, he said how good the five was, and obviously me being relatively new to the fives, felt more an achievement winning best five in show than best British, just due to the fact that I put 2 years of work into it, albeit there was brilliant stud of birds to start with, but from someone not knowing their arse from their elbow with the five, I can see it, anyone can see a good bird when they go to a show bench, but when you've got your own birds and they're limited to what you're using, I'm talking about the greens because that's all I had, but when you're putting them together, it was a learning curve, and to achieve best five in show after a couple of years, I was over the moon. But the judge, Chris Smith, did say to me, actually, it was between mine and the Gloucester canary for best canary, and obviously mine would have been second best canary in show. So that in itself is some achievement for me. Like I said, with the show, one thing that really surprised me, I turned up there really early in the morning. Actually, I was the first person there before any of the people that are running it, because I was in the area. I thought, couldn't sleep, get there nice and early and give them an hand. Got the staging out, and then the exhibitors started turning up with the birds, booked them in, and it was such a pleasant surprise, the fact that 99% of the exhibitors was willing to stay on and help out with the show, steward one way or another, or help with the show. And it's the first show I've been to with literally almost everybody asking, do we need any help with this, do we need help with that? And I think that is the way forward, helping out at the show, because there's a lot of things involved in putting the show on and running of the show. I do know this because obviously I'm involved with 2 or 3, and obviously news to come on other shows, but that'll come in a future episode. So anyway, all these new guys were turning up. A lot of them actually knew who I were from watching the channel. Forgive me if at first I'm a bit taken aback, because the amount of people that obviously, you're alright Shane, this, that and other, and I don't obviously know who they are from Adam, because I've not got the names obviously when people are viewing the YouTube videos. So anyway, back to the show. Yeah, so we took best British. What I took is I'm quite lucky in some respects, whether it be with the British or the fives. Like I said, we've bred over 50 fives this year, so it was quite easy for me to pick birds out rather than being limited to what birds I could take. So what I've started to do is have one show team, if you like, A, and a B team as well. It gives the birds a chance to rest up. The last thing you want to do is show your birds constantly. Mules and hybrids, on the other hand, are exceptional because they are not they're not your breeding stock. So I took the B team this time. What did I take? I took 1 adult cock, 1 adult hen, 2 current year cocks, I think 1 current year hen. We managed to take a different adult cock. Bear this in mind, it was a 2020 adult cock that obviously we didn't get shown last year because there were no shows, and he managed to take best British overall. We also took best current year bred hard bill with another current year greenie cock, and like I said, the fife was one that we literally just picked out a couple of weeks ago, and I've said this bird's changed constantly, and it was lovely to see. What I did in between, so I didn't stay around for the judging. I helped them out and then let them get on with the judging. I came home, fed the birds, and went back in the afternoon. And one of the stewards came up to me and said, "Well done, you know, I think you've got best five." And so I think you've also got best British. So, but like I said, although we all like to win, it's nice to actually support these clubs. And regardless of if I would have won or not, it would have been a good day out. Just meeting people, meeting viewers, and chatting with other breeders, and that's what the shows are about. So that was a show this time, and I will. I'll get a couple of the fives out and let you have a look at them. I'll actually get the winning five out and compare it to its brother. And the reason I'm going to do this because I've since coming back from the show, I've actually got his brother out. And I think his brother's better. But at that point, when it was being judged, obviously I didn't take his brother. It must have looked what it's meant to look like, and that's one thing with a fives. Take a show to a show 1 week, it could win best five in show. You take it to another show a week later, a different judge, it won't perform the same way as where it is. And I mean, if you look at the results from the all five shows, it's different birds winning every single time. So don't be put off by, you go to a show, you don't do anything that show and think, well, there's no point, I'm trying against the same people. Your birds perform differently constantly. So I'll get a couple of them out, and I'll also get the greenfinches out and let you have a look at them, because like I said, they change so quick, and especially with this colder weather, the birds are hardening up now, and the feathers tighten up, and this is what we need this time of year for the show season. A bit of cold snap, and it'll help the birds along for the show season. So let's head over and take a look at the couple of the show birds. I might chuck one or two different ones in there just to let you have a look at. So these are two brothers, two heavily variegated buffs. Really, really nice birds, both of them. One first round, one second round. The one here, this was literally just picked out of the flight. I'm talking 10 days ago. But when I looked, obviously, when this is the one here that won the best five. So there's a lot of this one needs a show training, like I said. It's not been in a show cage before, well, about a week ago when I picked it out. But they are, I mean, especially the one that won best five, really lovely birds. Looking forward to getting them in a bigger five show and see how they fare against, obviously, other quality birds, because that's what it's all about, putting your birds to the test on the bigger stage. But I will at some point, obviously, train this one a little bit more to get up to the standard of its brother. Definitely something there to work with next year anyway. One thing I don't want it to do is do exactly what it's doing there. Here's a couple self greens to quickly have a look at. I do like the look of this one here. It's like anything though, they need to settle into the cage. I've literally put them in 20 seconds ago. Need settling a little bit more and start performing. So that was just a couple of the birds obviously that we're going to show or been showing, and I have said many times I'm not going to go into too much depth because at the end of the day, if my birds are on here and a judge is watching, my bird. So I don't show too much at that point. The ones I've shown you have been in the shows. They're not likely to be in the next show. Might be in the one further than that, but we'll just see. I will keep showing. You might have noticed my new coat keeps me warm through the winter weeks while I'm at the sales. But while I was on the show section, I was asked about these. I do have two still available. All the connectors on. Show cage carry boxes. These are not too heavy. That I think, well I know they fit 4 show cages in. We have 2 available if you are wanting them. I've not put them on the website, but if you do need them, give me a shout and I will put it on the website for you and let you have first dibs on them. The show cage carry bags, we have got 100 coming in. They're due around the 15th of this month. It's just a matter of getting them in. Loads of new products coming available, but that'll come on later on. But while we're in the show section, show cages will be available again soon. Show cage carry boxes. Bear in mind, I have said this, these are heavy compared to the bag ones that we use, but they don't offer protection. The bags don't offer protection like the wooden ones do. If they're going to get bashed about, at least in the wooden ones, they're secure, they're not going to get damaged in any way possible. Even to a point where I store my show cages in the other shed in here as I'm getting them ready. They're stored in wooden boxes, not the carry bags. Just because I don't want to get them damaged if anything fall on them. Anything like that, at least they're protected properly in a wooden one. So bear that in mind. So what I'm going to show you now is something that viewers won't have seen yet. Is a couple of current year goldfinches. Bred from a pair of mine that I gave to somebody and he bred 2. The plan for these 2 is for muling with. So I'll get them out and let you have a look at them. Stunning little birds. Whether I show them or not, we'll see. So this is just one of the current year Goldie cocks. I've never been in a show cage. They are obviously cage bred. The idea of this would be for muling for next year. I've actually sorted out some yellow feathered cinnamon hens for this. Well, one for this one for the other one. Sure, if I wanted to show him, I could have him show ready in no time, due to the fact he's never been in a show cage. So this is all new surroundings for this one. I'll catch the other one up and let you have a look at that, like peas in a pod anyway. So this is its brother. Same again, never been in a show cage. And a lovely little bird, good mask on him. Nice bird. Well marked tannins down the chest here as well. So not the biggest of birds, but these are British birds, not Siberians. So in my opinion, it's exactly what they should be looking for. And that's how you tell a proper cage bred goldfinch. They're not sat on the floor. It's not absolutely crazy when you put your hand near it. That's how it should be. Like I said, these are part of the mulling plans for next year. If you do have any shows coming up or sales, feel free to post them in the UK sales and shows dictionary. I think that's what it's called. I should know. I do help run it. UK sales and shows. Just type it in Facebook and it'll come up on there. There's over 5,000 members on there, so it does get quite a lot of traffic going through, people seeing the shows, and that's what we need. One place where we can look at it and get the show date. So if you do have any shows or bird sales, feel free to post them on there. One thing, don't be posting for sale on there. If you are going to post birds for sale on there, don't put for sale. Use other postcodes or something similar to that effect. But like I said, upcoming shows, I will keep them posted on there. I think my next one's probably going to be Walsall, Dagenham, Carshalton, CBS, but as the episodes progress through the coming months, I will keep you updated. So sales that I'll be attending this month, Carshalton and Wallington, which has now taken over the Fur and Feather one. This is run by our club now, so all the proceeds from that go to the club for the club show. We will be there with basically anything that anyone needs for the birds. If you do want to order sacks, send me a message. Most of you have got my phone number by now. If you haven't, head over to the website directbirdproducts.com or on Facebook and you can find the details there. The week after that we'll be at Larkfield, that's in Kent, not far from Maidstone, so quite an easy one. That's in the morning, so it would benefit certain people. Like I said, same again, the details for that will be on the UK bird sales site. The week after that we will be at Dagenham on the Saturday. That is a young stock show. Obviously I sponsor the club there, so I'll be there with certain bits and bobs, sacks of seed if they're pre-ordered. Sunday the 21st we will be at Guildford Bird Sale, run by Charlene, and a brilliant little sale. It's one that I've been going to for, well, be a couple of years now, albeit that we wouldn't have gone for a year. Same again, anything you need, give me a message. Week after that again, so busy week. We will be taking plastics, all the plastic essentials and breeding products down to Portsmouth. Haven't club run that one, Porchester I think it is, but I'll get more details on that as it comes through. But like I said, all these will be posted on the UK sales and show site. Obviously there's a lot more, but this is the ones in my area that I do attend and support. But for obviously different viewers in different parts of the UK, there's shows and sales throughout. So feel free to head over there, check them out. If you do have any dates, put them in the Facebook page, and obviously it'll help everyone out. So that does bring us towards the end. Unfortunately, there's not as much to see as what you would think. This time of year, the birds are doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. Busy, busy, busy all the time, seems to be. But until the next one, just one last thing. If anyone out there is looking to breed Gloucesters, get in touch. Unfortunately, another friend of mine is packing up with the Gloucesters, and there's some beautiful, absolutely stunning Gloucesters. There is obviously a range of price, but the price reflects the quality. And I'll quickly take a couple of small videos for you to have a look at, and if anyone is interested, I will be at all them sales I can reserve them and take them to you if you secure with a deposit. Last thing I want to do is take them, which I've done before, have the stress of the birds in that time and have to bring them back after sale after I've been there for a few hours. I don't want to keep them in cages. But I'll do a few videos. Any interest, send me a message. It's as simple as that. Or like I said, we will be taking some of them down to the sales as the weeks progress. Last thing we want to do, the guy is getting shut of them, is have them hanging around forever. This is a pair of obviously greens or 3 parts dark, whatever you want to call them. This is a guaranteed pair, and the end being the Corona, top being the console. This is another pair, the cup being the blue or the white Corona, hen being the console, the green. There is a fawn hen Corona, and I would say 3 parts dark, but I'm not a Gloucester breeder. The body on this cocktail is really good short type, good head on him. Nice bird actually. Fawn white ground hen. This is the last pairing today. The clear, whatever it's called, clear with dark cap is the cockbird, and the Corona, and the hen is the consort. The hen bird is a really big bird, but this would make an ideal pairing due to the fact that this one is quite small. This is a big long bird, so this would be an ideal pairing. That definitely does bring us to the end of the episode for today. Thanks everyone for watching. You should know by now anything you need from us, directbirdproducts.com, or on Facebook, Direct Bird Products. Send me a message, do what you like, call, whatever you need, give me a shout, and if I can't get it I will try. So, if you have liked this video, leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, it doesn't cost a thing. And just thanks for watching for everybody, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one, obviously, hopefully by then. We've got all the new products coming in for breeding season, and some for the show season, 5 perchers, and plenty of new things coming in. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.